Welcome everybody to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. This is part of the 1M initiative, which is a virtual incubator with the goal of helping 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue by 2020, thereby creating $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs. So that is the overriding philosophy guiding this program. This is our 163rd roundtable. So we've been doing this for a long time, and over 15,000 people have participated in these sessions, and we have a pretty big, wide following, far and wide following all over the world. We have almost like an United Nations summit at these sessions with people joining from all over the world, and I personally really enjoy that process of finding out what entrepreneurs are working on in different parts of the world. You will have a recording of the session available, and just to give you a summary of our normal format is we invite somewhere between 3 to 5 entrepreneurs to pitch during this session. We have their slides up, and they send these slides in advance, and they're on audio talking about their businesses, and we work with them on their businesses, and then whatever little time is remaining, we work with the people in the audience to answer their questions. Today, we're going to turn this around, and we're going to start the whole session by working with the audience. Last week, we managed to get a lot more audience Q&A, and we got some good feedback about the fact that the audience really enjoyed that process and would like more of that kind of interaction. So, however, in that case, you're going to have to use the public chat more effectively and tell us what you're working on and how you are doing what you're doing and what kinds of issues you're facing, but you're going to have to type really fast and tell us what's bothering you. This session, by the way, is being live tweeted, so you can use the hashtag 1M1M if you are live tweeting during the show, and our two Twitter handles are at 1M by 1M and at Sramana. We also have a YouTube channel, which is where our roundtables are all, the recordings of the roundtables are all published. So if you go to the YouTube channel, you'll find recordings of tons of roundtables, which you can listen to, play back and listen to. And you will also find 1M FAQs there. Almost all the commonly asked questions we have recorded answers to, and you will find them there. There's also a delightful set of cartoons that entrepreneurs tend to resonate with that you would find there as well. There's a playlist, actually, a cartoon playlist that you could have some fun with. So as I said, we're going to go to working with the audience first. And let me actually get us the phone number. Maureen, is the phone number here that they can dial into if they want to? No? Okay, Maureen will give you the phone number of the dial-in line if you want to dial into dial in and talk to me on the phone. But we're going to start with Sushil Bhatia, who is dialing in from New York. And if you go into your public chat, you will see that Sushil has started introducing himself. He's joining from New York City, working on advanced information management software. So I'm asking him what kind of information management software is that, and he's saying he works for all, his solution works for all knowledge workers, and he had created solutions for several industries. And if you scroll further down, he says, I think I've developed Walkman for knowledge workers, but the challenge is potential users do not know they have a need until they see a demo, but that cannot be done in a minute. Okay, Sushil, I would like to understand, what problem are you solving? In any business, you cannot sell anything unless you clearly identify a problem to solve. So given what you have developed, you seem to have developed lots of things. By the way, this is something we do not encourage you to do. We do not want you to develop anything until you have a clear strategy of how you are going to build the business and how you're going to bring this product to market. So contrary to certain popular myths, we want you to not develop anything and first define your business strategy. But here, Sushil's situation is water under the bridge. He has spent a lot of time and energy and money developing a bunch of stuff. But I want to start at first base. What problem are you solving? So Sushil, tell me, what problem are you solving? Sushil, do you have an answer? Knowledge workers spend a lot of time in searching for information. This software allows users to integrate information from all sources in an integrated manner so people find information faster. But that is completely generic. What kind of information are we talking about here? What you're describing here is Google. If I listen to this pitch, I would think, well, what is it that you do that Google doesn't do? So specifically, give me a use case of what kind of information are you talking about? While you're thinking about that, I'm going to give you, all of you in the audience, a bit of, yes, you can call in. Maureen, can you give, see, Maureen has given you the call-in code. There's a phone number, 650-479-3208, and the access code is 664-776-965. Make sure you mute the computer before calling in, but you can call into the line, absolutely. So Sushil, go ahead and call in. And while he's doing that, I'm going to give you a bit of logic of how to think about these things. In general, if you come with a very broad idea, you cannot, it's all on your screen. The number is all on your screen, Sushil. Maureen has typed in the number there. So use that to call in. If you are trying to build a solution that is too generic and too broad, you will never, ever be able to bring that product to market. You're going to have to be very specific. You're going to have to be very specific in determining which customer segment are you going after. Who is the customer? What is the exact profile of the customer? Knowledge worker is a very broad term, right? So what kind of knowledge worker? How do you characterize the knowledge worker who fits into the ideal customer target segment that you are going for? You need to characterize that segment very clearly. And then you're going to need to figure out what is the precise problem of that segment of that customer, and then figure out what is it that you bring to the table to address that problem of the customer. So each of you who are working on a problem, please frame your idea in this mode with a customer segment, a deep characterization of your customer, what problem do you think you're solving and how you're solving it. And I'd like to discuss as many of your scenarios as possible today. And again, the number is, Sushil, I don't understand why you do not see the number. If you're using public chat, right above you, Maureen has put in the number. It's 650-479-3208. Access code 664-776-965. Any of you who want to dial into the call, please feel free to do so. Okay, while Sushil is getting his technical issues sorted out, I'd like to start with somebody else who is ready to come up with his or her problem definition, customer segment definition, and a discussion about your specific issue. Who wants to go next? Vishali, do you want to go next?
I joined in Sushil here.
All right, Sushil, go ahead.
Yeah. See, I have created solutions for CIOs, for project managers, for software industry, for people developing specifications, okay, which for which there is no solution right now.
Okay, so not true. Absolutely not true. Every single category that you mentioned, there are a very intensely an intensely populated competitive landscape. You mentioned 4 different segments: CIOs, you've mentioned software companies, you've mentioned project managers, and you've mentioned people developing specs. Every single one of them have plenty of knowledge worker solutions. There are lots of project management solutions. There are lots of tech development solutions. There are lots of expertise management solutions. There are knowledge management solutions. So your first statement is false.
Well, unless people see it, because I'm saying it not from my own thing, but people who have seen it, they have created solutions. That's the reason I'm saying it. So that's exactly.
No, I want to know. You have to be able to say precisely what is your competitive positioning. Which segment has what specific problem that the current competitors do not address, and where there is a white space or a gap. And you need to point out exactly what that gap is and who has that gap.
That exactly is my problem, is my difficulty, and I'll be joining your club soon, and that's the help that I need. Only when people see the demo, only then they realize there's a gap, and that they can use this solution.
But that is not going to be sufficient. You're going to have to be able to position this product and explain what you do, because no one is going to invite you to see a demo unless you can step through and get to that meeting. How are you going to get that meeting? So let's role play for a minute. Again, folks, for all of you, this is something that you have to think about. How are you going to get a meeting? Let's say you take this position that Sushil is taking. The only way I can explain is by showing you a demo. And let's say I am somehow your customer, target customer, your prospect. You need to send me an email and tell me that I am doing blah, 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 and I would like 10 minutes of your time to show you a demo. But if you cannot explain to me in 3 sentences, in an email with 3 sentences, what is it that you're doing and why I should give you 10 minutes of my time, how are you going to get to show me the demo?
Let me give you an example.
Okay.
The example being, the way our mind works, anything which is relevant, it connects everything together. But that's not the way things are in PC. My emails remain within Outlook. The document spreadsheets I create, they remain within the filing system. You and I talk, you will go and visit my website. That you may bookmark it. And our conversation, you will remain in your head, or you may note it someplace. They're all disconnected. When we talk to each other, when we need to make a decision, we need information from all those sources. That's how our mind works. But that's not how our computer works. My software allows people to connect these things together. Google cannot connect things together.
No,
this allows people.
Google cannot, but there are other software. There is a whole category called knowledge management software that has attempted to solve this problem for many years, not just 1 or 2 years, for about 20 years.
Well,
I have seen software solutions to this problem that you're talking about. There was a company that I worked with for a little while called Tacit. I ran them through some of their options towards the end of their lifetime. That company was in existence for something like 10, 12 years, but they didn't really make it. And I was brought in by the investors at the very end during my consulting career to kind of look at the company and evaluate their options. And I did like a whole day kind of planning session with them. And they had that technology of being able to kind of correlate everything from across different systems, whether it's email or, documents and so forth, and be able to present views that are specifically, relevant to certain topics. So it's not a field that you are pioneering. It's a field that has existed. So if you're coming and telling me that nobody has ever done anything in that area, that is lack of information and lack of research on your part.
Well, I shown it to people, one CIO, she saw it and she flipped over. Now she's trying to help me out, get this out of the market. She had not seen it. She's a CIO of a $60 million company.
Yeah.
And she's introducing.
She's not my benchmark of the most knowledgeable person on earth. You need to do research to figure out what has been done in your field before, not just check with one CIO who has never heard of it.
No. I had done a lot of comparative analysis. Okay, I had done a lot of research.
Remember, I've just listened to your pitch for how many minutes? 20 minutes max, less than that. I've just already given you at least one competitor.
Okay, can you spell the name for me?
The company is no longer in business. It was called Tacit, T-A-C-I-T.
I will look it up.
But that is not the only one. There have been attempts at solving this problem, and what I want you to do is go understand why that category has failed.
Okay.
And what is it that has prevented that category to be successful? Who else has done what? Who else is doing what currently?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Because what you're talking about is not new. Okay, good. So at least we have some direction in which you are going to go and dig down further. And by all means, I will talk about 1M a bit later. I want to go through some of what's going on in your businesses, and then I'll talk about how you can use the 1M program. Sushil already knows about the program. Seems like he's planning to join. But for those of you who don't, I will talk about that in a moment. Roshali, I think you wanted to go next. Is that correct? Anybody who wants to have a quick discussion about your business and your issues, please come forward and let us know in public chat or dial into the line that is on your screen. In general, what I'm trying to do is create a safe place where entrepreneurs can come and discuss their issues. This back and forth that Sushil and I just did, this is not intended to offend Sushil. It is intended to give him constructive feedback so that he can go and take that feedback and act on it. Constructive, actionable feedback is what we focus on. Typically, the format of these roundtables is that we have actual pitches. So we have people sending in slides in advance, and we run through their presentations, 3 to 5 of those presentations, and really dig deep into their businesses. Today, I'm digging into the audience issues a bit more, just because last week we had a lot of engagement and I couldn't take all of those questions. So today I decided to start with that and put the slide presentation pictures a bit on the back burner. Now, Sujay Pillai, was it Sujay Pillai? Was that his last name? Yes, Sujay Pillai. What is your situation? Are you ready to discuss your business in whatever format, whether it's a pitch format or you want to just talk about it in the public chat? I'm going to also go and check who else is in the room. And Darcy, how about you? I see you in the room. Darcy, do you want to discuss what are your gating items right now? I'm really glad to see that you could make it today. Okay, Darcy will call. That's great. And Ashok, great to see you after a long time. Yes, what's up? How's business? Susan, I don't think we've heard from you before. I see your name for the first time. Shivaram, I think I've seen you before, but I'm not completely sure what you're working on. Ashok says services business is growing good. And what services have you been focusing on, Ashok, right now? Is it development services? Is it social media marketing services? Where did you find your sweet spot? App development, okay. Web, mobile, and social app development. Good. And what is the primary source of customers? Mobile apps, of course, yes. It's a big category. Is it mostly iPhone apps or iPad apps or Android? What platforms are you specializing in? Okay. Darcy, are you on the line?
Yes, hi, I'm on the line.
All right. Tell us what's up. What are you working on, and what are the gating items?
Yeah, right now we're just, we're actually in development, having gone through a cycle of a prototype testing over the summer, learning some things about our customer base. Our original thought was to take our product, which is a way for people to quickly, through a mobile device, check in and share a daily affirmation with another person. And we were taking it direct to consumer, had some game mechanics built into it to try to make it a little bit fun and engaging. We're focused on the fitness and weight loss market. That this one technique that is used throughout fitness and weight management of daily affirmations is kind of acknowledged by all experts, from neuroscientists to practitioners, dietitians, et cetera, to be an essential part of helping somebody make the changes in their life that they need, but people don't do it because it's boring to do. So we've tried to make it a fun and engaging way of reaffirming a positive outlook for health and wellness.
When you say that an affirmation, who is that communication happening with? Is it with the with like a trainer or a doctor or a counselor,
right,
or whatever? Or it's
yeah.
with
What the strategy is to, we've created the product so that it has value to what we consider this whole range of professionals out there, from dietitians, nutrition coaches, weight loss counselors, fitness trainers. That group of professionals that we've targeted very specifically. Many of them have little private practices, right? They're basically in business for themselves.
Right.
Giving them a way to keep in touch on a regular basis with their clients to kind of help keep them motivated and on track is the product that we're offering to them. It's also has a few features in there that help them as a little bit of a marketing tool to maybe expand their customer base, and really, honestly, what our tests have shown is that their clients themselves will experience improved results anyway. So that we're in our testing of that market, there's an interest in a way other than just sending out daily emails to people of engaging in an inobtrusive, helpful way that's not going to be, that's, as I say, not going to be too much of an imposition on everyone. So that's designed to be a little brief, mobile, one-on-one check-in. It's set up so that these professionals can set up their own groups. They can be private groups, they can be public groups. From within that group, they can, when they're live and available to have the little brief exchanges with their clients, the clients will be notified that they're available, and they can get on and say their little daily affirmation and get some positive feedback and encouragement. It's also designed, though, that group, then if they want to do it more frequently than the trainer or dietitian, whatever, the professional is available, they can share it with each other, both within the group, or they can even share it in the more general population or invite friends to do it with, however. So it's primarily been designed as a tool for the professional market, but it is available and accessible for someone to use just with a group of friends, or just joining some of the open groups.
Okay, so here are a few questions that will help us understand the business. You are assuming that you are primarily catering to the needs of the dietitian or the professional's ability to keep his or her clients on track and on goal, and also through that app helping them broaden their customer base and so forth. The primary customer that you're catering to is that professional, yes?
Yes.
And does that mean that that professional is willing to pay for a product?
It seems as if we did a small survey, and it seems as if that customer is willing to pay for it. So yes, the answer is yes.
So that is a critical point, because this business predicates, the business that you have described so far predicates on the fact that that professional pays. There's nobody else going to pay. The consumer is not going to pay. This is not a B2C product. I don't believe the consumer is going to pay. This is going to have to be something that the professional pays, and you need to figure out what is the business model and what is the pricing model for that professional, and you need to validate that relatively quickly.
Yeah, well, and that's yes, there are two potential monetization streams from this, both of which we're very keen on. One is the payment from the professional community. We're going to start it on a subscription basis, which is at a fairly low price, sort of $2.99 a month kind of thing, very, very low. But where we have another monetization stream is from the more traditional game revenue kinds of things. We have in-game monetization features, so upgrades for both their clients that are using it and for the instructor themselves. And so that we've embedded those kind of features to allow people to change the experience for themselves through micro purchases.
And what are they purchasing?
Well, because so much of what is we've created has basically in-game gifting is one of the key monetization features.
Just listening to you, my take on this would be to simplify matters and create a B2B product that is primarily based on a subscription model. And I'll just give you an example of a use case which you could think about. We go to a personal training gym in Menlo Park. And the way this gym is set up is that there's a whole bunch of trainers who use that gym to train. They're kind of loosely affiliated, an auxiliary of trainers, so to speak. And they, but all the billing and handling and everything for the gym is handled by the gym itself. So we don't have to individually pay each trainer, or if a trainer has been substituted, we don't have to deal with any of that. Now, it so happens that if you think about the personal trainer business, oftentimes personal trainers are trying to make their clients do some things outside of those training sessions, and if they could send reminders that, at noon, right. So let's say our training sessions are Tuesdays and Fridays, on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at noon, they want to send a quick reminder to say, do 20 minutes of rowing on your home machine, stuff like that. But right now, other than email, there is no other capability of doing that. But this, I think, warrants, I think what you're describing is essentially this functionality.
Yes, exactly.
But if you look at the sales cycle and the business cycle of making that happen in a gym environment, there are a bunch of business questions that will come up, like who pays? Is it the personal trainer who pays, or is it the gym who pays? I mean, this gym makes $2 million a year, and it's intensely profitable. The owner of the gym invests heavily in equipment, in keeping this gym a really, really well-managed, well-run place. He invests in making this experience more interesting. So if you go talk to the owner of this gym, he'll probably be very open to buying this software as a subscription for all the trainers.
I see. Oh, well, that's a very good idea. I was trying to target the individual trainers within the gym. I was getting lists of names of individual trainers, but I should be talking to the gym owner.
A business-to-business product is much easier to monetize if there is a target segment that you go after that has money.
Right, right.
Otherwise, you're going to have to acquire these customers one by one by one, and that's That is harder because you're essentially trying to do a B2B product. You're not trying to do a B2C product. If it's a B2C, if the product was a B2C product, that would have a very different marketing strategy. But this case is a B2B product, and you need to design your entire business the easiest way that you can, the smoothest, highest velocity way that you can bring it to market and start monetizing as soon as possible. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next person, but
thank you. Thanks. Great.
This was helpful.
It was very helpful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, Ashok, are you planning to dial in? I see you're asking for the number, or are you on the call?
Hi, Sramana. I'm on the call.
Awesome. Tell me what's going on.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Actually, I'm completely unprepared. Because, you know, I was not expecting.
You were not expecting to call in. See, that's the change.
No, I wasn't expecting to present. I have a specific idea that I thought I will, you know, bounce it off you.
Yep.
So first of all, you know, we are doing pretty fine on the services part of the business. We are building a lot of mobile applications, iPhone and Android apps, and a number of websites and web applications in the back end as well. So recently, basically, there has been a lot of surge in the number of people asking for specific mobile apps, you know, especially around second screen app, where there is a TV show going on, and you know, people are getting on to second screen on an iPhone app or an iPad app or an Android app, you know. So basically, something that you know, even for Oscars, for NFL finals, you know, there are a number of apps that people used while they were watching the live show. So basically, our idea is to build a B2B framework where you know, there is where it makes it incredibly easy for people who want to build these second screen apps. You know, it makes it incredibly easy for them to get into the market, you know. So that was the basic concept idea, you know. So I was just wondering.
The category already exists. You need to do competitive analysis.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of platforms like that that are actually, some of them have built sizable businesses, you know, several million businesses.
Okay.
So you need to do competitive analysis. The idea is fine, but you need, whenever you come into a market that already has existing competitors, not only existing competitors, but competitors with some sizable traction, you need to figure out where is the gap and how you come into that market through that gap.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything off the top of your mind? What is which ones are there?
There is one that we did an extensive case study on. I think it's BizApps or something. I can't remember the name of the company off the top of my head, but it's a Silicon Valley company.
Okay.
Could be BizApps.
I will look into it. I will look into it. I'll research into it. You know, whatever little search we did, we couldn't find anything, and it looked like a low-hanging fruit. So that's why I was wondering.
No, there are multiple of those actually. It's kind of it falls under the DIY category.
Okay.
So DIY mobile app development platform. So if you look under that keyword, you should be able to. There's a whole bunch of them.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Shivaram says he has a retailer store staff focused training platform using mobile apps on the Android platform, as the target market uses mostly Android and other basic phones. These staff cannot be brought out of the stores for a day for training or send trainers into the store for training. Both are expensive and not scalable. Okay, interesting. I think you've talked about it a little bit, but it sounds like you have more information. The way you pitched it now, it has more refining of your understanding of that market's needs, it seems. So yes, you can call, no problem. Sushil Bhatia is asking, he's part of the organizers of IIT Bombay Alumni Association. We are planning to create a mentoring group for entrepreneurs. Would you be interested in coming and talking to the group? Sushil, the way we work with various organizations is, entrepreneurship development organizations, is we do kind of custom versions of these roundtables with them that are where all the people that get to pitch are people from that organization. So what I would like you to do is work with Maureen, and she will work with you to put together an IIT Bombay Alumni Association specific event for you.
Thank you.
And it's all in the same WebEx format. We will host it and run it and everything, but you're going to have to do the PR and the sourcing of the candidates who are going to be pitching.
Thank you.
Hey, are you on the call? Not yet. Maria Melendez says, first time on this call and very helpful information is being shared. I started a business last year, Embrace Her Legacy, which was built to help young, career-minded entrepreneurial women grow their professional network and thrive in their career. Now I'm transitioning from solely a women's network to an online-based business or digital media company that produces content, media that will help young women thrive in their career and personal development while also having a member community. My issue is finding the right developer to help me create the platform I envision on the site, and many of my competitors give information away for free. So I'm having trouble determining a business model that makes sense. I'm new to this, so any information would be helpful. I'm in New York City. Thank you. So Maria, the category of content community-based businesses are very, very difficult to monetize and grow. So you have to come up with something that is unique, that your community offers, that you can compete with the other services out there. So for example, you're talking about you want to help entrepreneurial women grow, right? Well, how do you compete with 1M1M? A woman who is trying to be an entrepreneur or grow as an entrepreneur, if that woman has a choice between your network and 1M1M, what would that person choose? So then it comes the question. Then comes the question: how do you compete? How do you position yourself against 1M1M? What do you offer that 1M1M does not offer? We have lots of women entrepreneurs, and women entrepreneurs tend to love the 1M1M program, partly probably because I'm a woman at the head of this initiative. They feel that they can look up to somebody, relate with somebody who understands and shares their issues. So that's a positioning question, and I'm giving you a completely objective positioning question that you're going to need to find an answer to. Similarly, if you're doing networking, how do you position against LinkedIn? Why would somebody want to participate in your network versus LinkedIn, which is become the world's #1 professional networking organization? And that is a freemium model. You get a bunch of stuff for free, and then you have premium services on LinkedIn. So you should study LinkedIn very carefully. You should study 1M1M carefully and see if there's anything that you can offer that is unique to your expertise that can actually help somebody above and beyond what a LinkedIn or a 1M1M would offer them. Sujay, are you on the line? No. Maria says her competitive advantage is focusing on the mind, body, and spirit of the woman. I'm focusing more on helping women walk in certain consciousness of self. That's what has been attracting the women now. But that's a very different positioning than, trying to help entrepreneurship or networking or, stuff like that. That's that will open you up to a very different set of competitors, and I think you need to, I don't have, off the top of my head, I don't have the competitors in that category, but I know that there are, services, there are obviously many media companies, there are major authors who cater to that category, so you need to do the competitive landscape around that specific positioning and figure out what are people offering, what people are paying for. That is really important. Remember, I'm kind of trying to focus all of you on what is going to generate money. Business is about making money. Business is not about helping people for free. That is not called business. That is a nonprofit. That is a foundation. And that's not what we do here. We will obviously, we want to help people. We want to provide value. We want you to provide value to your customers, but against somebody paying for that value, not that value for free. That is the primary thing that you have to keep in mind, is that if you want to build a business, you have to figure out what people are willing to pay for and who are the most likely people who are willing to pay for what you're offering. Okay, Sujay, you're not on the call yet, yes? So I'm going to take a few minutes and tell you a bit about how to work with 1M, and then we can, if there's more, there will be more time, we can come back and do more of your scenarios, your Q&A and so forth, and you can dial in. But for the moment, I'm going to take 7 to 10 minutes and give you an overview of how you can use 1M and all the resources that we have brought together, both the free resources as well as the paid resources, and then we'll come back and do more Q&A and more audience engagement. Okay, so reminder, the mission of 1 million by 1 million is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. So our success is predicated on your success. We will go to absolute lengths to make you guys successful. And that is the entire justification for our existence. And that is why you are going to become a paying member of this program, is because we are committed and capable in a proven capability to service your requirements. Your exploration begins at http://1mby1m.com. The first level of resources is a free level of resource, which is our blog. The blog is at sramanamitra.com, and that blog, you can access it from 1mby1m.com as well. That blog is entirely free. It is chock full of case studies, trend information, thought leader interviews, stuff that will help you learn, and that will help you put one foot before the other. However, it is not as much of a compact, curated environment as the premium program is going to be, which I'll come to in a minute. The other place where you will find some level of curated information is in the Entrepreneur Journeys book series. And that is where we have started. This actually, the book series predates the 1M program. The program developed organically in my head, So first I started doing all these case studies on the blog, then I started synthesizing them in this book format. We published 4 volumes of Entrepreneur Journeys. And that's where some of the synthesis started to happen. They're all available on Amazon and Kindle internationally, and of Flipkart in India. 2 key pieces of the 1M methodology is bootstrapping and positioning. And one is completely related and integrated into the other. You cannot successfully bootstrap a business unless you do a very, very crisp positioning. Each of you will need to arrive at a laser sharp positioning, and we help you through that process. We're probably one of the most sophisticated teachers of positioning in the world for entrepreneurs. And positioning is actually a very poorly understood topic. When I was consulting, I did 3 startups as founder CEO, then I did 10 years of consulting before coming back to 1M as my 4th startup. I would say the maximum amount of money I made in consulting was in positioning. Even for very large companies, positioning is a very poorly understood exercise. And I just decided that in the program that we put together in 1M, positioning is going to be one of the cornerstone pieces, because if you can master positioning, your likelihood of success in this business goes up by orders of magnitude, exponentially. So bootstrapping and positioning are 2 things that you're going to need to learn, and we covered that in extensive, excruciating detail in the program. This is what the site looks like, what's on your screen right now. So you have a navigation bar on top where you can see free public roundtables, a self-assessment, I'll talk about it in a minute, the premium program, the blog, books, etc. All of this are accessible from the website. Another piece of free resource are these roundtables. We do these every week. This is our 163rd roundtable, and we try to In a very safe environment, we try to give you feedback with which you can put one foot before the other. You can make progress. You can find insights. You can remove roadblocks. Whatever it is that you quickly want to work with me on, you're welcome to come here and do that, and we try to accommodate as many people as possible. Our regular format is you get to actually pitch with a slide deck, but you need to send in the slide deck ahead of time and book your slot in the session, and we try to do up to 5 such pitches per session, no more than 5. We don't have time to do more than 5. But we've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs in this mode, and I believe, we've seen great progress. People who have worked with us in this roundtable, let's say 2 years ago, come back 2 years later and tell us that, oh, I've built $250,000 in revenue, or built $500,000 in revenue, and I took your advice, and blah, 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 this happened and that happened. So these are, it works. My point is it works. The free public roundtable page that you can access through the website is where you get to register. All the entire schedule and registration information are available on this page. Beyond that, we have the paying program. That's a $1,000 annual membership fee. And in that program, you get a variety of services. That includes the following. First, you get extensive methodology guidance. And we deliver that methodology guidance in form of a curriculum. And that curriculum is based on video lectures and case studies. I'll tell you more about how we develop that in a minute. We also do a lot of business development work. We help you access customers. We help you access channel partners. Whatever would make you, if we have contacts in our network, and we do have a very large network. My LinkedIn network, for example, is 13,000 connections. So depending on whom you're trying to reach, if you can reach them through my LinkedIn network or through my personal network somehow, we will make sure that you get access to that person. We will make those introductions. Then we have strategy consulting. You got a little flavor of that strategy consulting here in this session. We have extensive sessions like this, but that's for members only, and that is behind the premium lounge. So we have private roundtables for members only, essentially similar format where you can, pitch with slides or dial into a call or use the public chat to discuss your issues. But this is basically the format of our strategy consulting programs, which is essentially private roundtables. If you are fundable, and the truth is over 99% of the companies out there are not fundable. But if you are fundable, we will help you with financing. And we will help you figure out whether you're fundable or not. And if you are fundable, we'll help you figure out how to create the collaterals required and the process required for funding. And then when you're ready, we will introduce you to investors. We have a very deep set of relationships in the investment community around the world today. In some markets more than others, and in some markets, there are more investors than others. But, our commitment to you is that if you build a business that has the characteristics of being fundable and you want to explore financing, we would be happy to bring you into that network. And finally, media relations. We have a lot of clout in the media. Probably many of you know that I had a column on Forbes for many years, for 3 years. And even today, we have a ton of syndicated columns all over the media. So we make all that media clout available for our portfolio companies. So all of you who join the program will have access to both our social media reach as well as our online media and traditional media reach. In terms of social media, by the way, we have a very deep social media channel, and we let you use that channel to promote and propagate your products and services as well. In terms of success stories, one place you could go look at is the $1 Million Club. The URL is on your screen, and it's accessible again from the website. And we also give you a full quantification of the 1M value equation. We've kind of done some ROI analysis, and we deliver if you are using the program the way it was designed to be used in its full form, we deliver $375,000 worth of value for a $1,000 annual membership fee. So go take a look at this quantification piece. And we also give you lots of guidance, orientation material on how to use the program effectively, because there are so many nuances and so many pieces to the program. And if you're using all of those pieces, you can deliver hundreds of thousands of dollars of value, but you have to follow the guidance of how to use that program. The self-assessment, which is a free tool that you again have access to from the blog, is a 9-point questionnaire that helps you assess your own, calibrate yourself essentially. And you're going to need to basically calibrate yourself along each of those lines and really get to concrete, crisp answers in each category. The other thing that we provide is, as part of the self-assessment, is reference to the curriculum modules that helps you plug your knowledge gaps in each of those categories. And there, what you're going to do is, of course, you need to be a premium member to access the curriculum modules, but there, basically, what we want you to do is take the questions. If you're struggling with certain answers to the question, go through the modules, learn the module, learn the methodology, and then you can actually, if you have a model that let's say you have a market sizing model that you'd want to run by me, you can go into the discussion area of the curriculum module and run that by me right there. Or if you're dealing with segmentation, if you're dealing with positioning issues, you can run all that by me in the module itself. So again, all that is at 1mby1m.com. You can find lots of descriptions of the premium program on the site as well. There are a bunch of video FAQs, both on the YouTube channel as well accessible through the website, which answer frequently asked questions. I want to tell you a little bit about how we've designed this curriculum and why it's so powerful. You know, we have been doing these coaching sessions, like the one we are doing right now, for years. We are on our 163rd session. This is just the public sessions. On top of that, for at least over 2 years, we're doing private roundtables coaching sessions as well. So our understanding of the issues that you all entrepreneurs are facing in the early stages is very deep and very intense, actually. What we've done is analyzed all of those issues, and that is one of the things that has led up to the curriculums, is our deep understanding of all the issues that you're coming up with or coming up against. And we have basically packaged and developed video lectures around every single one of those issues. Then, the other thing that we've done is developed case studies for over 6 years now. We have invited successful entrepreneurs to come to the forum and share their journeys and their strategies of how they've built how they've put one foot before the other, mitigated these issues. We understand the issues, so we've taken these issues and asked questions of these, various successful entrepreneurs, and we have created today the world's most intense body of work, body of case studies, most comprehensive as well as most in-depth body of case studies of over 600 successful entrepreneurs who have addressed those issues. So the curriculum is a combination of video lectures and case studies, and it triangulates these two bodies of work, the coaching sessions where we've identified the issues and the case studies where we've identified solutions. So in a way, you could say that we are not teaching this, Sramana is not teaching you this program. It is over 600 entrepreneurs who are teaching you this program because they have been generously sharing their learnings and their experiences, which we have institutionalized so that you can take advantage of their experiences and their learnings. There is nothing like this anywhere in the world where such an institutionalization of the tribal knowledge that floats in the air of Silicon Valley has been brought together. And not only Silicon Valley, we have actually done this with entrepreneurs around the world. We have entrepreneurs from Argentina, we have entrepreneurs from India, we have entrepreneurs from Australia sharing their experiences. So it's a very, very, very powerful curriculum, and it's very inspiring. You know, the minute you step along in the journey of somebody who has started in your shoes at a zero stage and have built these multi-million, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of revenue, it is incredibly empowering to know that you can do it too. Okay? So the curriculum is really something that you should take advantage of. And for a $1,000 annual membership fee, it is really nothing. The pricing is designed to be at a very affordable level so that entrepreneurs from all around the world, remember, we want more than 1 million entrepreneurs, you know, in the program for sure, to get 1 million of them to cross $1 million in annual revenue, because not all of them will. We have decided by design to price it at a very, very you know, low level so that people can really afford to do it from everywhere in the world. And again, our methodology is very conscious about your limited resources. We are very respectful of cash. We want you to not squander cash. It's a very lean, capital efficient, cash efficient, bootstrap startup methodology. And this is how we run our business. So our, you know, level of empathy with your situation is very high, because we are also building a lean, capital efficient startup. 1M itself is a lean, capital efficient startup. So remember I told you a lot about our media cloud. There is a page under press. You will find a coverage of premium members, which will give you a flavor of how much media we can generate for you. Just see how much we have covered our premium members, and you'll get a feel for what kinds of things we can do for you. The social media channel that I talked about, there is actually how you can use the 1M Twitter channel. This is a video. Even though it is part of the curriculum, we make it available for you for free. And this actually gets you access to not only our Twitter channel, but our Facebook and LinkedIn channels as well. Our Facebook channel is over 15,500 people. So if you roll it all up, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, other social media channels like Quora, our email newsletter is over 33,000 subscribers. We have a lot of reach. Just 1M itself has a lot of reach, and we do our best to give you access to that reach. You can publish guest columns on the blog, and that's another way you can get in front of 30,000, 50,000 people. So there's, you know, variety of ways in which we give you access to our reach. So that kind of, these are examples of, you know, 1M Incubation Radar is a series that we write for companies that haven't reached yet 1 million, and then 1 million Deal Radar are companies that have reached 1 million. These are pieces that, again, investors track. A lot of investors are tracking what we are writing and companies that we are covering, and then, you know, our entrepreneurs get calls from these investors. So that's, you know, that's a good summary of what we do, how we do it. You're welcome to ask questions in the public chat. We also have an affiliate program. So if you have an entrepreneurship development organization that is trying to, you know, like I think Sudhir was, who was asking that question? I think Sushil was asking the question about IIT Bombay. We have an affiliate program. If you want to become an affiliate partner of the 1M program through the IIT Bombay Alumni Association, we'll be happy to work with you. And there are various ways we partner with various corporations. We partner with entrepreneurship development organizations, incubators, accelerators, and so on and so forth. So we're very flexible, and we are very happy to extend your current resources in entrepreneurship development. We do not have any ego about it. Upcoming free roundtables. Every week in March, you have a roundtable available. So by all means, you know, let people know that such a resource exists, and both take advantage of it yourselves, as well as let people know, let fellow entrepreneurs know that they can come and use the resource as well. One final book that I haven't talked about is my Vision India 2020 book. There are $45 billion business ideas in the book that I chose to publish because I will not have time in my life to work on these business ideas. but other entrepreneurs can, and we actually have a module in 1M focused on the Vision India 2020 ideas, so we'll be happy to help you with them. You know, my game plan is to spend the rest of my career working on 1M and really making it happen and take it to heights over the next 30 years and really help millions and millions of entrepreneurs around the world. But you are very welcome to take any of these other ideas from Vision India 2020 and develop them. So that's all we have in terms of the formal presentation. We can come back to audience Q&A, or you can dial in if you like. So Sujay is not able to call in. Sujay, if you want to use the public chat to tell me what you're doing and dialogue with me the same way that Sushil or Maria has done, you're welcome to do that. If your call is not connecting, there's nothing we can do about it. It's a regular phone call. If you can't make a phone call, there's not much I can do about it. If anybody else wants to join in by phone, or if you're welcome to do that, the phone number is available. Go ahead, Sujay. Describe what you're doing, and we'll try to work with you. Let me see if I can get to your slides. And maybe we can figure out quickly by eyeballing your slides what is it that you're doing. Boy, that's a long presentation. So what is tuition? Is it a tutoring network? Sujay, is this a tutoring network? Network of experts for what? What is the category? As far as I'm concerned, a network of experts that is completely generic will not work. That's too broad. So when you're talking about private tutoring, are you talking about K through 12 private tutoring? Are you talking about college level private tutoring? Are you talking about some other kind of private tutoring? So I'm not able to, I've gone through already 10, 12 slides in this presentation, and I still do not understand what this business is, which in itself is a negative feedback, Sujay, which tells me that you don't know how to present your idea, and that's no good. You need to learn how to present your idea in such that within 3 slides it becomes absolutely crystal clear what is it that you're trying to do or what is it that you are doing. Now you're talking about a search engine. Okay, doesn't seem like Sujay is able to explain by public chat or by phone or by slides what he's doing, so we're just going to move on from him. Anybody else? Any other questions or comments? Or you could even ask questions about 1M if you like. And by the way, if you want to call somebody and talk to somebody live about 1M, if you have questions about the program, you can do that with Irina Patterson. She has put her phone number and Skype ID. Irina, can you put your Skype ID and phone number in the public chat, please? Irina will be happy to talk to you and answer your questions and clarify your doubts. Her phone number is 786-301-2456. Irina is based in Miami, and her Skype ID is Irina_Patterson. So if you're abroad, you can also talk to her over Skype. And right now, we still have a few more minutes left. If you want to ask any questions, I will be happy to answer questions about 1M as well. Or if you want to ask any questions about a business, that's fine too. So there are some people whom we have not heard from at all today. And one of them, it seems, is Suzanne. I see her in the room, but I assume it's a she, but I don't know that for sure. Is that somebody? At any rate, I don't want to put you on the spot. If you don't want to say anything, that's fine. All right, looks like I don't see any further questions or comments or issues, and nobody else is calling in. So we'll wrap up the session, and we'll see you back here next Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you very much for participating. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you very much.